Right, evening everybody. Welcome to our Wednesday evening call. It's so nice to see so many new people on the call, and I know a lot of them have been invited by Yolandi because she's so excited about her results. And I know Kim has guests on the call, so then we've got lots of guests. And I hope I haven't left out who else has guests here, but I think I might even have a guest on, maybe as an iPhone, or we've got more people coming on, which is fantastic. Right, so for those who don't know me, I'm Merle, and I'm in Durban, South Africa. I joined LifeWave in December 2022, and when I joined, I had no ambition to work it as a business. I was fascinated by the product, this incredible patch X39, which Caroline is going to be telling you about in a minute. And I knew that the health benefits should be amazing because I listened to David Schmidt talking to healthcare professionals. But at that stage, I didn't know what it was going to do for me, and I was burnt out from network marketing. Nearly 3 years later, business is my main focus because if you don't work the business, then often affording the patches is not an option. And we have a solution for people's health and their wealth. So my background is that I've been a therapist for the last 30 years and I've taught a technique called life alignment. I'm also a nutritionist. I'm a qualified nutritionist. I don't practice as either anymore because LifeWave has taken over everything I do. So it really can completely transform everything in your life, from your health to your wealth. My health story is in the first week I had a result with my shoulder, which is why I told a friend. And the rest is history. We'll get to that later. But 4 months in, I had definite um, acknowledgement for myself that things were happening inside that I couldn't see, because although I'm on thyroid medication for an underactive thyroid, my bloods had improved so much that my doctor halved my medication. It was the first time since 2015 that we were able to halve medication and that my bloods had improved. And I have all my bloods from every year. So I knew the only thing I'd changed was patching. So for me, that was the first real acknowledgement that actually we can't see everything that's happening, because when you're on medication, you feel fine. So you don't always know. My husband is another case in point in that he thought nothing was happening with him. And 2 years in, his dentist told him that his pyorrhea, which is a hereditary gum disease, incurable, is completely gone. And he's never seen it in his career before. So it's just a case of continuing to patch and not expecting the results that you think you need. Because sometimes your body knows better than you do. So why would my husband had issues with his knees? He had tinnitus. Why would his body focus on the gums first? Well, if anybody knows anything about medicine, you will know that gums can lead to heart, I promise your gums can lead to heart disease. So the body would see that as far more important than dealing with a knee or like ringing in your ear. That will come later. Once that happened, this year he miraculously has lost 10 kilos, changing nothing except the fact that he carried on patching. So of course I'm a little jealous about that, but because women would like that to happen. But your body will always do what it sees best for you. So I know that Caroline's going to tell you all about that, but I just wanted to give you a little taste of why I'm so passionate about it. And of course, I wake up every morning to stories. And when I was told in the beginning, you're going to see lives changing every single day, I didn't really believe that. Because I thought, well, yeah, sure. And then we had some amazing stories, and I'm not going to go into them now. But I do wake up every single day to the most incredible stories. And the more that I hear the success of the people in my team and their downline and people around the world and the people I meet on my travels with LifeWave, the more passionate I become about changing people's lives. So Caroline is going to be presenting the product part of the presentation this evening, and I'm going to hand over to Caroline so that she can introduce herself and tell you who she is and why she believes in LifeWave, and then tell you a bit about the product. So over to you, Caroline.
Thank you, Mel. Yeah, hi, I'm Caroline. I'm Danish, but I live in the UK. And I'm a homeopath and soon to be a herbalist as well. Came across the patches well, it's coming up to 2 years in January. So I can't believe it's been that long, actually. And I had a specific issue myself. I had a knee that wasn't bending very well. I couldn't sit on my heels. I couldn't squat. I couldn't do any of those yoga positions I'd like to do. And I thought, well, if it can help with that, then I'm very impressed. Didn't feel so much in the beginning, but the first thing that really happened and made me think something's going on is a couple of weeks in, my sleep just changed. And it wasn't a one-off sleep. It was from then on, really good sleep. I woke up refreshed, just clear in my head, deep dreams that I remembered. And I also realized that in the process, the pains I'd gotten myself used to, and I actually were getting to a point where they were waking me up at night, had just disappeared. I had neck pain and hand pains. So probably the beginning of some arthritis, but those pains stopped hurting. And that was when I got really excited. Then 3 months in, pretty much, my knee was back to bending again, and that got me super excited. And of course, I wanted to start using it on my clients, patients, friends, family, the whole thing. And my very first success with patching someone else was an old friend of mine who'd had eczema since she was a child. She started on X39, nothing else. And 6 weeks in, she rang and said, "You know what? I don't think I've been this well for a long time. My skin's so much better. There's very, very little eczema left." A couple of weeks later, it was basically gone. And then the other thing that happened was she started losing weight. She also had a bit of a problem with a fatty liver. She had a little bit too much cholesterol. All of that just cleared over 3 months of just X39. And she couldn't believe it herself. She said, "I can't, it's like I'm making better choices for myself. I'm not eating stuff that I know I shouldn't." And it just really profoundly changed her. So that was really exciting. My latest really exciting story is I helped a young girl who had some acne problems. She didn't really want to go to school. Her mom was worried she wasn't going to put the patch on her because she's reluctant to do anything. But we tried with X39. We actually added Eon as well because she was a little bit ADHD, and it was again a massive change. Her skin cleared up, which was amazing, and in a couple of weeks actually. And then the ADHD anxiety just left her. Her mum said she couldn't recognize her. It was just so lovely for her to have that. So yeah, I'm absolutely in love with the patches and what they do for everyone around here. And of course, I love the business as well. I went to LA, and that was the most inspiring trip. If anyone can ever go to one of those big conferences, I really recommend it. It was wonderful to hear all the exciting new things that are coming out. And I also realized I'm in the right place at the right time. This is such an exciting space to be in. So if you wanted to start the slides, Mel, we can get going. So yeah, so this is what we ask anyone who starts their journey with patches. Have you been patched yet? Because once you realize what happens when you put these patches on, your body is just going to start elevating, activating, and regenerating, and that's the magic of this little white patch. And this is a little new film that we're going to be watching about the patches, and also This Is It team. It's about X39. When there's no sound, Merle.
To wake up the healer inside you. This is X39, a wearable, light-activated patch. Designed by David Schmidt, an inventor with over 200 patents. His mission? To reverse aging naturally. This isn't science fiction. It's stem cell activation without injections, without pills. Your body repairing itself. The results? Life-changing energy, recovery, sleep, relief. And the medical world, it's taking notice. Still skeptical? Visit thisisitinfo.com. You'll find the studies, the patents, the proof. It's all there. But there's more. This tiny patch isn't just transforming lives, it's creating freedom. Because behind it is a business model built for the bold. Real people, real results. Income that scales with impact. And here's why. Because this breakthrough technology is patented and exclusive, it offers a lucrative business plan that allows you to compound your efforts. More people than ever are struggling in today's economy. You can no longer rely on your own sweat equity alone to make a living. This business model allows you to duplicate yourself and, even better, to benefit from other people's efforts. So your income no longer depends solely on you. By duplicating yourself over and over, the income potential is far greater than a conventional job, career, or profession. And you're never alone. The This Is It system gives you the tools, the path, the team. All you have to do is start. The question is no longer if it works, it's whether you'll act or let this moment pass. Will you keep waiting or finally feel your body come alive again? Will you stay financially stuck or build something that lasts? Isn't it time to start living life on your own terms? The This Is It action plan will set you on a path to live out the dreams you have for your family. Get back with the person who shared this video so you can experience the age-reversing health and the exciting lifestyle that thousands are already enjoying. This is the technology, this is the team, and this is your moment. This is it.
And for anyone who doesn't know, we are on This Is It team, and you can see from the pictures how incredibly enthusiastic this team is, and they are here to help us. They want us to succeed. So that's a really big thing to know, that we have their backing. We can't talk about the patches without talking about David Schmidt, the CEO inventor of X39. He's now got over 200 patents. Very, very exciting stuff that are coming now and in the future. He's a scientist and inventor, and he specializes in age reversing. He actually started life by creating a patch called the Energy patch that was helping Navy SEALs stay off the coffee and amphetamines, and that was his first kind of successful patching. That then got taken over by some of the swimmers from the Olympics, and it propelled kind of his patches into the limelight. But this particular patch that we're talking about today, X39, well, it started, he started thinking about that around 2008, when there was a lot of talk about stem cells. And I think the genius thing about this particular patch is that we know that stem cells are incredibly expensive injections, and they can sometimes not be very helpful either. But he managed to create a non-transdermal patch that actually activates our own stem cells. And this recent patent took him 10 years and 4.5 million to bring to market. Now, it's patented technology, which is very good for us because it means that nobody else can get hold of the product. But also, it means that it's really quite hard to get a patent, and it means that there is a lot of studies that has to be produced, and lots of clinical trials that has to be done in order for it to be accepted. So what does it actually say in this patent? Well, according to at least one embodiment of the invention, which may be worn anywhere on the human body, that causes a beneficial effect by providing phototherapy to the human body as a result of elevating copper peptides. That's the important bit here, including activation of stem cells, the next important bit. Improvement in energy, elevation of antioxidants, reduction of inflammation, management of pain, improvement in stamina, elevation of collagen production, and improved wound healing. So why do we want to use X39 stem cell activation patch? Well, when we're born, we have the most amount of stem cells in our body because they make up every organ. All stem cells are in every organ in your body. And but as you age, they become dormant. And I certainly wasn't aware that by 30, we've only got 50% of our stem cells active. And at 60, which I'm sadly already plus, there's 10% of our stem cells left that are active. And it's something that I think anyone who's of a certain age, but even not a certain age, we can start to actually see that already from 30. Yeah, there's lots of changes that aren't so easy. It's not so easy to get back to the form that you used to be, and certainly I think with my own health, I could see the beginning of the decline, and that's the exciting bit, that you can actually reverse that. So opportunity happens by creating solutions, and we've got some exciting solutions here. Well, the current problem we have to solve is that nobody knew that stem cells became dormant, but Lifeway has a solution to that by reactivating the stem cells in our body. And on top of that, there's another big problem for people in the world at the moment. So many people are struggling financially. And again, here with Lifeway, we have an income generating business, which is really exciting. I think we're at a point where a lot of people are getting a little bit desperate. They might be losing their work, their jobs to AI. There's a real change coming, and I think a lot of us are looking for that extra income from somewhere. And network marketing is going to go from strength to strength, I think, over the next many years. And the benefits of X39, as you spoke about, we've already heard some of them, but this is something I can say that I've pretty much, well, I've felt all of these. Increased strength, absolutely. I just feel an overall strengthening of my body, and there's definitely mental clarity. Reduced inflammation. When my pain started going away, I realized that it was working on my inflammation as well. And then I got stronger, so I had restored muscle and skeletal conditions, increased stamina. Uh, First thing that happened was to sleep, and that was a godsend. And I think, some of us will probably say if we only sleep well, then we're happy. But, we're certainly happy with all the other things that happen as well. And then the energy that you get from a good night's sleep and just generally feeling stronger in your body, and of course improve skin appearance. I was on a call one night where one of the ladies said, "Oh, I've got softer heels," and within all of us started feeling our heels, and all went, "Oh, my heels are soft too." And so you can just feel the change in your skin over time, which is really exciting. So, what are the long-term effects of X39? Now, these can all be found on This Is It info. These are all case studies that have been done. Well, we know that very quickly up to 4,000 genes begin to reset. And already within 6 weeks, we can see on various scans that the brain becomes more balanced. And then it's only a couple of months, I think it's 3 months, and collagen starts increasing. And that's really important because that's not just collagen from your hair, skin, and nails, but we need collagen all through the body. It's in our gut, it's in our joints, it's everywhere. And so it's really, really important. And although you might not see that, to know that that has started to happen already is really reassuring. And then the heart reverses in age. And that's again, within 6 months, there's been heart reversal for up to 8 years. So David Smith likes to say this isn't anti-aging, it's age reversing. So how do you wear the patch X39? You wear it for 12 hours on, and then you take it off and you wear it for 12 hours off. Now, when you wear it on, it's so the body has time to elevate, activate, and regenerate. Those are the words we saw in the beginning of the slides as well. But the reason you take it off is that you must also rest, repair, and rejuvenate. It's really, really important that you give the body a break from the stimulation of the patch, because otherwise it wouldn't work as well. And then the other thing to really remember is that you must drink some more water, because you want to make sure that your cells are at optimal hydration. That I normally suggest you take a couple of gulps every half hour instead of downing big glasses of water, which just puts strains on your kidneys. So if you can just keep water nearby and taking those few couple of gulps every half hour, you'll really see a difference in how effective the patches are working. And if you can put some electrolytes into that as well, that's even better. And the testimonies, which I'm sure we'll hear now, are often really emotional and life-changing. And I certainly know lots of people who felt that personally.
Thanks, Caroline. That was an amazing presentation. And what I've realized, and anybody else who does the presentation, when the video is playing, make sure you're unmuted if you are the host. Otherwise, you don't hear the sound. So
Ah, good point.
I'm just mentioning it because I know the presenters
Yeah,
on the call.
good.
Right. So I know that there are some people on the call who have amazing testimonies. I'm going to actually ask for volunteers tonight, because otherwise I pick on people and there might be people here that I don't know about. I know Amanda usually knows who I haven't asked to give testimonies, who might have new ones, or you might know from your team. People we haven't had for a long time. No? Oh, Linda.
I
Linda, there we
definitely
go.
want to hear
I'd
from
love you
Yolandi.
to. Oh, wonderful to have you talk. Linda?
Merle, I don't have a voice.
Oh, you don't have a
Next
voice.
time.
Okay. You unmute.
Oh,
I heard you
sorry.
unmute just now. That's fine. If you don't have a voice, don't worry. We'll let somebody
Thank
else
you.
chat. Linda is one of the well, she's a nursing sister, but she's a matron of an old age home, and she normally has amazing testimonies for us from the people that she patches. Debbie,
Yeah, go on then.
love you too.
My computer is being an absolute pain in the backside, which is why I was late. So forgive me, everybody, if I keep seeming to come and go. All I'm going to tell you is what happened to me last week. I've been patching for 14 months now, about that. And last week I think I must have been delayed in all my appointments. So on the Monday, I had my dentist hygienist appointment. And at the end of it, I asked her what she thought. And she said to me, "Your gums are truly, truly amazing." She said, "I've hardly had to do anything." She said, "They're extraordinary. What are you doing?" And of course, I told her. So hopefully one of these days we'll get her here. And then Thursday, I went to have my roots done, my grey hair. Now, my hairdresser, every single time I go, says, "This has changed, that's changed," and then looks at me, raises her eyebrows, and says, "You're going to say it's patching, aren't you?" And this time, what she said was, because my hair is thicker, I was losing hair at the front, all of that came back. But this time, we went for my grey, and she said, "You've got your grey here." She said, "Look, if I lift it up, it's all growing back darker." She said, "It's just that bit there that's grey now." So I was doing well. So Friday off I go to my nail lady to get my polish taken off my toes for the winter. I like to leave it off for the winter. And I'd broken a fingernail. I had extraordinary fingernails. And so I said, "Would you file my nails down?" And I'm 60 coming up 61. And she filed my nails down and she said to me, "These are the best nails I've ever seen." She said, "People normally have ridges at 60. You have no ridges, you have smooth nails." She said, "And those are really healthy cuticles." So I did a social media post to tell my lot that not only was this a vanity thing, if that was the way it was, but it's an indication that your organs are working beautifully, because if those things are changing, it's not just about aesthetics, it's about how your body's working internally as well. So had a really, really good week last week.
Thanks, Debbie. And that's so interesting because three different people who are all looking at things and looking at many people's hair, nails, teeth, gums are saying the same thing, which is amazing. So Yolanda, I know you've got lots of guests on, and I know we're watching Yolanda and her husband's story because we're getting the updates. Would you like to share?
Hi everyone. Yeah, this is just very emotional for me. Because I would also just like to give some people hope. My husband has been diagnosed with Purpose disease at the age of 5. He had his first hip replacement in 2001. 2021, he had another hip revision. He was diagnosed with polyethylene particle disease. He's on his way to osteoporosis. I don't know how to say the name in English.
That's
I'm very
right.
sorry.
That's right.
But my husband has been experiencing a lot of pain since forever. 2 weeks ago, I asked him, "Please, can we just try these patches?" Because I've been introduced to the patches in March, but life happened and we kept on stalling out. I don't know.
Putting it off.
But anyhow, 2 weeks ago, we got our patches. My husband started patching. Within the first 5 days, he told me, listen, something is really changing in my body. Where my pain used to be 100 out of 10, it's now about 4. Where he used to drink pain medication every 2 hours, today it was only once. My husband is walking better. I'm sorry.
It's so exciting for you and for your husband. You're
He's
allowed to be
sleeping
emotional.
better, he's feeling better, and everything is just amazing. I'm also patching because I also want to experience something to change. And I must tell you, my energy is better, I'm sleeping better, I'm feeling better, my skin is clearing up. I'm sorry, I'm just so emotional. Um, Even my cracked heels is better. And then I'm sorry for the gentleman on the call. Um, but once a month we as women go through stuff, and usually it's very painful. Then I would like lie 2 days straight without having I had just had too much pain. And this past 5 days has been a breeze. It's been a breeze to be a woman once a month. I also experienced, I used to have a bump underneath my arm, and I've been struggling with it for about 6 months, being too scared to go to the doctor. I did go to the sister, and they gave me antibiotics a few months ago, and it didn't make me feel well. And then I think it was 2 days ago, I noticed the bump is getting smaller. So I'm just very excited about this product and how it can change lives. The testimonials I've seen about cancer, about diabetes, about pain, and I just want to share it with the world. I'm so excited. This is very emotional for me. Thank you, Merle.
Oh, thank you so much for sharing, and you're allowed to be emotional. It's so exciting. And of course, I mean, I say I have tears in my eyes most days from the stories that I see. So, and now you're experiencing it, and the people who are dear to you, you want them to be patching. I know. It's just very exciting. So thank you for that. Right. After that, I don't know what we're going to do. I think if there's nobody else volunteering to give another testimony, let's move on to the next part of the presentation. Right. Then we'll have more time at the end to answer people's questions. Okay, so as Caroline said to you early on, this is at info.com. We belong to the This Is It team. This is at info. You saw in that first video, it's where you will find all the information. You'll find the patents, and we have 15 years left on the patents. You will find Dr. Leyland Stillman, who's a medical doctor, talking. At the bottom of the website, you'll find a panel of doctors, everything from an anesthetist and a cardiovascular surgeon to chiropractors, all talking about how they use the product. Many of those people on the panel I have met in person, and many of them, this was recorded 2 years ago, that panel, many of them are now doing even less surgery than they were before because they're patching their patients. It's so exciting. The cardiovascular surgeon, in fact, Razan is on the call tonight, so we have to congratulate Razan because she's one of 2 people in my downline who went 1-star executive at the beginning of the week. And that means it comes with a really nice bonus. But the cardiovascular surgeon and his wife hit that same rank this week. So it's quite interesting. We are really moving ahead and very, very exciting. So when I joined LifeWave, I didn't know much about the compensation plan because I wasn't shown a presentation like this. We didn't have them yet. Steve and Gina Merritt, who run the This Is a Team, had joined about 6 months before I did. And they were under a lady called Onyx Cole, and we were sort of following what Onyx had. We hadn't really taken off as a team. Now, however, our team is responsible for 65% of the company's sales. And the company turned 21 a couple of days ago, and yet a team that is not even 4 years old is responsible for 65% of the company's turnover. It just shows you what the right people can do when people start having results. So in 2021, so in 2020, X39 was patented. Up until about 2018, it was mainly doctors, therapists, physios, those sorts of people who were using the patches, because we didn't have X39 yet. We had what we now call supplementary patches. Things like Energy Enhancer, which Caroline was talking about, which the USA swim team used for the first time in the 2004 Olympics. Anyway, 2020, X39 was patented. 2021, we did a $20 million turnover for the year, and we had been doing that for a couple of years. 2022, Steve and Gina Merritt joined the company, and they introduced a system that is very, very easy to duplicate. And as we said, we're part of the team. This presentation is one of the things that's easy to duplicate. And the company's turnover skyrocketed to 320 million. In 2023, we did 430 million. In 2024, we did about 600 million, and we are on track to do $1 billion this year. Now, that's quite some growth for any company, and it really is all because of X39, because as people's lives are changed, so they tell others. It's really easy. You don't have to be a doctor to put an X39 onto somebody's back or where the pain is. So LifeWave is also ranked as the #1 momentum company in network marketing in the world at the moment. A website called businessforhome.org, which lists all the different companies, ranked us #1 last year and again this year. Now, usually the #1 momentum company is a new company. So a company that was 20 and 21, it's quite something that we're still the #1 momentum company in the industry. So we are moving like nobody else, but you saw those figures. We're also in the top 25 performing companies. The system that we follow allows everybody to duplicate their efforts if they choose to. Not everybody chooses to. Some people may think, well, I just want a patch. Then you can become a preferred customer and you can get wholesale prices. The person who invited you to the call will help you do that. You don't ever have to tell other people if you choose not to. And some people have great results, but they don't really want to tell other people. Either they're too embarrassed, they don't have time, they have corporate jobs. You know, everybody is different. So we always ask at this point, what is the most important thing in your life? So is it family time? Do you want security? Would you like to travel? Better health? Less debt? When I joined, it was all about better health. It was all I wanted. But I have gained absolutely everything on that list from LifeWave. And I might have thought that I wanted to travel more. Sometimes now I think, oh, traveling a little bit less might not be a bad thing, given that in the last 3 months, I've only spent 2 weeks a month at home. Right, so how does our compensation plan work? We work with a binary. That means 2 legs. And getting started is as easy as placing your friends and acquaintances on the right and the left leg. And the person who invited you can go into more details. But once you start doing that, you start going up through the ranks from 1-star manager to 2-star to 3-star, then through the directors. And then when you get to executives, you're moving into the really big ranks. And that's what Roseanne hit this last week. And that comes with a $5,000 bonus. So it's quite something to go 1-star executive. So you can earn up to $25,000 each week from the binary. That's on the top level of presidential. And so obviously most of us are not quite there yet, but we know many people who do max that out every week. There's also something called a business launch bonus. So 3 weeks ago, our compensation plan changed, and it's become much, much easier for people as they come into the business to earn. So if you come into the business and you come in on advanced, and I'll talk about the packs in a moment, and you bring in 2 friends to do exactly the same thing, you are going to go 1-star manager. It's that easy. You're going to put 1 left, 1 right, and you're going to make sure people have got subscriptions. You're going to go 1-star manager. That will mean that you will tap into a $25 a week bonus for the next 9 weeks, as long as you keep that volume. It's only 750 volume. If you then help the people that you've brought in, those 2 people, to do the same, you're going to up your volume, and that's just points that is associated with product. If you bring in some customers, that also adds points to 1,500. You're going to become a 2-star manager. And again, for 9 weeks, the same 9 weeks though. So this is the first 9 weeks that you're in the business. So from the day you join, we're doing 9 weeks. You can be earning a $50 a week bonus. So you can either be earning 25 or very quickly you can be earning 50. And this is what we now call a business launch bonus or a fast start bonus. And that's so that as people come into the business, they can already start earning money, which will help pay for their patches. Now, we also have something called a mentor matching bonus. And the mentor matching bonus comes in at certain levels in the comp plan. I'm not going to go into details with it because it can get very confusing. But if I'm going to tell you the site where you will find everything, and if you're one of those people that needs to know exactly how it all works, you can go to the site and you can go and watch webinars on the comp plan and you can see everything. It's also all in our back office once we join and we get access to the back office. But the mentor matching bonuses are amazing. So I tap into mentor matching bonuses as a 2-star executive. So I'm getting paid on 4 generations, which is amazing. So what is the difference between a conventional business and a LifeWave business? So in a conventional business, you have high startup costs. LifeWave is a low startup cost. I was talking to one of my downline today, and she was saying to me, now that the new comp plan has come out and she's looking at it all, it's like buying a mini franchise, except your startup costs are so low compared to any other franchise. In a conventional business or even a conventional franchise, there's a high risk. In LifeWave, there's no risk because you're only paying for your product. You're not paying to join, you're paying for your product. You get a place on the binary, you can build a business, but you've got product, so you're actually not risking anything. Conventional business, there's a lot of stress. LifeWave is stress-free. Conventional business is long hours, especially if you're in a brick and mortar building, or you've got a kind of business where you're looking at, you having to sell things and you're opening and closing. LifeWave business, you make your own schedule. So even when you're traveling, like Caroline said, we were in Anaheim at LifeWave's conference, we're still answering questions to our teams back home. So Caroline's team in the UK, my team around the world, still can do that. But we can be in a conference and we can be away from home and we can add other time onto that. So we can be on holiday at the same time, but we're still working. A conventional business is trial and error. LifeWave business is a proven system, especially if you're part of this as a team, given that we are the most successful team in LifeWave. Conventional business, there's a learning curve, so you would have to work out how it goes. LifeWave, there's mentorship all the way to the top, so all the way to Steve and Gina. I mean, I can pick up a phone and phone Steve and he will answer and talk to me. It really goes like that once you get access to those levels. But I mean, you can always access them through me if there's anything that you need to know that I can't help with. Conventional business, there's limited earning potential. In a LifeWave business, there is unlimited earning potential, which is absolutely incredible. So how do we get started in LifeWave? So in America, people fill in this form, but I'm just going to go through the different packages. I prefer to sit next to somebody and help them sign up or be on a Zoom call with them or a voice call and get them to do it, because once somebody has done it once, they can duplicate. So if you don't want to ever build a business, you don't want to be on the binary, as I said, you can come in as a customer and the person who introduced you will earn something off you, but you're going to get wholesale price. People can come in as a retail customer, but who wants to pay $50 more for X39? I don't think anybody does. Though some people do, you'll be surprised. When you get started, you can get started on core, which will mean you get 3 sleeves of X39, and a sleeve is 30 patches, so it's a month's supply. Or you can replace 1 sleeve of X39 with 2 sleeves of supplementary patches. So when I signed up, I never had any ambition to build a business. So I came in on core thinking, well, we got 3 sleeves, so Des and I would each have a sleeve, and then we would have a sleeve for half a month, and then I would buy again. Turns out a friend wanted one, and so I didn't know what I was doing. I just sold it to her at the same price I paid, which is actually against company policy. But anyway, I had no clue at the time. Never do that now. In fact, I don't sell patches now, and I have no ambition to. And I thought that when I need it again, I would upgrade, because LifeWave allows you to upgrade. So you pay the difference, you get the difference in product. If I knew what I knew now, then I would have come in on premium, but obviously being in South Africa, I couldn't afford a premium even then. I would have done advanced, because advanced for $535, you get 6 sleeves of X39, so you're really getting a nice discount, and it allows you to have more volume, so 300 towards that 750, so it'll get you to manage it much faster. We now have Advanced Plus, which is $975. It gives you 11 sleeves of patches, so you can see that as you go to the higher packs, you're getting bigger discounts. So if you go from Advanced to Advanced Plus, you just pay the difference, you'll get the difference in patches. And then we have Premium, which is for the serious entrepreneur or the pharmacies that join, doctors' rooms, therapists who want to have patches to be able to sell to their patients. And of course, they'll retail them to their patients. It's $1,750 and you get 20 sleeves of X39. You also don't have to buy a product for 2 months. Now, the important thing with LifeWave is to be on a monthly subscription, because that means that you keep your volume in the binary. If you go dormant, in other words, you don't have an order, you will lose your points on the binary. And of course, those points equate to money. So until you are moving up, you only need to have one sleeve subscription, especially if you have a customer that's going to give you 77 volume. If you have one customer, they're going to give you 77 volume for your customer who buys X39. That's going to keep you active. You need 110 points to be active, but most people need 2 sleeves a month. And it's really so easy. I know that when my in-laws died and I packed up their garage, when my mother-in-law passed away, like 8 months after my father-in-law, I packed up the garage. I found boxes of furniture polish from a multi-level marketing company they'd been in probably 30 years ago. And they had to buy more and more. I know that company, you buy lots and lots. LifeWave, you only need 2. Now, in my household, there's my husband and I, that's 2 X39, and we use other patches too. So we buy a lot more than what we need to buy to stay active, but all product that we actually use. So, you're not forced to, stash product that is going to be found 30 years later by your family. So we spoke about this is at info.com. We also have a site called thisisateam.com. Now, thisisateam.com is where you're going to find all the information on how the business works, what is recommended to set up a team that's successful, how you sign up customers, how you sign up brand partners, how the compensation plan works, Steve Merritt's plan of getting ahead and moving forward in the business. It's all there for you. There are many of the different executives and presidentials talking about how the system works. And it's all there free for you, and you just tap in and you have a look at that. So the time is now to make your move. Are you serious about your dreams? There is hope for your future. And if you follow the system and you set up your business the way it should be set up, even if you're not always there, it's going to keep growing the way it should grow, because you're going to have incredible leaders. So I don't know if anybody wants to say anything about the business. I think we should ask Razan to say something about the business. So nice to have you back.
Thanks, Merle. Thank you so much. Yes, I can definitely attest to that. And so for those that don't know, I was introduced to LifeWave by Merle 2 years ago. It took her a year to get me involved. And then I started to build my business like Merle taught me. And I built on it for a full year, and then I decided to take a bit of a break. And I took a break for about a year now. But what happened with this business that has never happened with my other businesses, that my income kept on growing because I built right and strong from the start. So the best advice I can give anyone that wants to look into the business part is to build it right, the right way. And that is by copying what Merle has done, and then what the This Is It team is doing. And we build on this binary. And if you set your structure up right, it will bear fruit. And yeah, I was just I'm so grateful that I got introduced to this business. Thank you, Merle. And it's just been amazing and rewarding ever since. And I must just also say to my team members that has stuck in there while I was AWOL, thank you so much, because you guys just are amazing. Thank you.
And then how amazing was it? I mean, what did it feel like for those who are nearly there or moving towards it on Sunday to see the first half of that bonus appearing in your...
Yeah, no, it's incredible. And to know again, this company really rewards you for yeah, putting in the work, and I did put in the work that first year. I worked my butt off. But yeah, and to see it just keep on growing is just incredible. And yeah, if it wasn't for you that showed me, that how close I am, and the beauty of this multi-level or network marketing company, because I've been involved with a few in the past. You don't need a lot of customers. Where previous companies, you really had to have a lot of customers to get your deserved income, if I can call it that. But with LifeWave, you don't need that many customers. In all honesty, I've got 2 PCs. So and the rest is people that I've put on the binary. So yeah, it's incredible.
And I mean, Roseanne and Eileen in Australia both hit 1-star exec on Sunday, which is so exciting because I know that Eileen was in tears when she saw her back office. But on Saturday night, Roseanne and I sat there and I said, all you need to hit this bonus is one more preferred customer. So she went out and found one. But it's only at exec level that you actually need customers, and it's a legal requirement for network marketing in America. And of course, we're an American company. So some people like to have lots of customers, and that's fine, but you don't have to have any until you're an exec, and then you actually only need 2. So
Yeah.
it's very, very exciting. So thanks for sharing. And Roseanne's back, for those of you who don't know. We've got to reset her goals. So that's wonderful. And yeah, that was a really good way to end the call tonight. So thank you everybody for being on the call. I'm going to stop recording, and then if there are any questions we can ask after we stop recording.